There are 12 million Americans living with blocked or narrowed arteries in their legs and feet right now, and most of them have no idea. Arterial disease builds silently for decades. By the time most people notice symptoms, serious damage has already happened. Before we begin, an important note: this video is for educational purposes only. These home checks can give you useful clues about your arterial health, but they are not a substitute for professional medical evaluation. If you notice anything abnormal, please see your doctor right away. Today, we are going to look at a simple 10-second test you can do at home with zero equipment, plus 3 other easy checks, and what each one can and cannot tell you about your arteries. Your body contains roughly 60,000 miles of blood vessels, enough to circle the earth more than twice. Every single day, your heart pumps about 2,000 gallons of blood through that entire network. Arteries are the high-pressure highways that carry oxygen-rich blood from your heart to every organ. Healthy arteries are flexible. They stretch with each heartbeat and then snap back. But starting as early as your 20s, a process called atherosclerosis begins. Plaque made of fat, cholesterol, calcium, and other substances slowly builds up inside the artery walls. For decades, this process usually causes zero symptoms. Arteries actually expand to compensate for the plaque, and blood flow does not drop significantly until the artery is narrowed by about 80%. That is why a study of young American soldiers killed in the Korean War found that 77% of them, average age just 22, already had visible coronary atherosclerosis. More recent studies show that nearly half of healthy, asymptomatic middle-aged adults already have plaque in their arteries. The consequences are huge. Someone in the United States has a heart attack every 40 seconds, and heart disease still kills over 680,000 Americans every year. Half of men and 64% of women who die suddenly from coronary heart disease had no previous warning signs. So let us go through 4 simple checks you can perform at home right now. The first check is the foot pulse test for peripheral artery disease. Sit down and take off your shoes and socks. Place 2 fingers on the top of your foot, right in the groove between your big toe and your second toe, and slide them back toward the ankle. Press gently and feel for a pulse. Now check just behind the inner ankle bone, in the groove between the ankle and the Achilles tendon. If you can feel a clear pulse in both places on both feet, blood is flowing well. If the pulse is faint, weak, or completely absent, that is a red flag worth discussing with your doctor. Normal pulses do not completely rule out arterial disease, but absent or very weak foot pulses are a strong clinical signal. The second check is called the Buerger test. Do not do this if you have dizziness, recent back surgery, or serious heart problems. Lie flat on your back and raise both legs to about 45 degrees. Hold them there for 1 to 3 minutes. Then quickly sit up and let your legs hang down over the edge of the bed or couch. In healthy arteries, your feet should stay normal color when elevated and quickly return to normal when lowered. If you have poor arterial flow, your feet will turn pale or white while raised. When you lower them, color may return very slowly, going from pale to bluish, then to a bright reddish purple, before finally normalizing. That pattern is a classic sign of arterial insufficiency. The third check is the 10-second balance test, the one everyone is talking about. Stand barefoot on a flat, hard floor. Raise one foot slightly and place the front of that foot lightly against the back of your opposite calf. Hold it for 10 seconds with your arms at your sides and your eyes looking straight ahead. A 2022 study that followed 1,702 adults aged 51 to 75 for 7 years found something striking. People who could not hold this position for 10 seconds had an 84% higher risk of dying from any cause in the following decade. even after adjusting for age, sex, weight, and existing conditions. Failure rates jump dramatically with age. Only about 5% of people in their early 50s fail, but over 50% of people aged 71 to 75 cannot hold it. The fourth check is pulse pressure. Next time you measure your blood pressure at home, subtract the bottom number from the top number. That difference is called pulse pressure. For example, 120/80 gives a pulse pressure of 40, which is normal. 150/80 gives a pulse pressure of 70, which is elevated. According to research, every 10-point increase in pulse pressure is associated with roughly a 20% higher cardiovascular risk. A pulse pressure consistently above 60 is considered significant. Wide pulse pressure is a direct marker of arterial stiffness. There are also visible signs to watch for on your legs and feet: shiny, smooth, or hairless skin on the lower legs, brittle or thickened toenails, pale, bluish, or cold feet, slow healing wounds or sores, pain or cramping in the calves, thighs, or buttocks when walking that goes away with rest. Any of these, combined with weak foot pulses, deserve a medical checkup. If you experience sudden, one-sided weakness, trouble speaking, vision changes, chest pain, or skin on the legs turning pale, purple, or black, go to the emergency room immediately. The good news is that up to 80% of premature heart attacks and strokes are preventable. Quitting smoking cuts your risk dramatically. Within 1 year, coronary risk drops by about 50%. Keeping blood pressure below 130/80, staying active, eating well, managing weight, sleeping enough, and controlling blood sugar all directly slow down arterial aging. These 4 home checks are simple tools you can use anytime. None of them replaces a doctor, but they can give you early warning signs that most people completely miss. Pause right now and try the 10-second balance test. Tell me in the comments how long you held it and which check surprised you the most. If this was helpful, subscribe so you never miss a video like this one.